Back in college I took a weight history class. Barely. I'm a history buff, so I thought it would be a great class. Boy, was I wrong. The professor's entire career had been spent teaching as a civilian on military bases. He always wore a suit jacket adorned with a bunch of military medals and hats you generally see veterans of various conflicts wearing. Think baseball cap with Operation Desert Storm, veteran on them. He was never in the military. He claimed his medals were gifts from his former students who were so grateful for his teaching. Stolen valor much? I can only imagine they were grateful because they didn't actually have to do anything in class. When he started at the college, first time the old fart had a non-military base job, he structured his class as such. We met twice a week. The first meeting he put up a handwritten slide with topics he would cover that day. He then went on a meandering nonsensical explanation of those topics full of misrepresentation, inaccuracies, and conjecture sprinkled with a lot of his own modern political opinions presented as fact. The second meeting of the week we watched a weight movie. No discussion of the film or the accuracy, or the actual events in the movie. No report to be done. Just like, watch Saving Private Ryan and appreciate it for being a good movie. Our final was to find a weight movie we didn't already see in class and write a one-page summary of the film. No analysis, mind you, just a description of the movie. As a university-level class, this was a complete joke. The professor didn't like me because I often corrected him in class. Like, no sir, weight didn't start at Pearl Harbor in December 1941, the war had been raging for years by then. Well, not in America, which is what matters. He also had a tendency, like at least once a class, of making the observation that I person is the new Hitler. Random foreign leaders? All Hitler. Obama? Hitler. Pesos? Hitler. He once called David Beckham the new Hitler. Like, where does that even come from? I tended to call him on these statements. He didn't like it. One day Prof says that next class he'll be performing a one-man show he wrote about Eisenhower's D-Day decision. He warned us not to be late because one simply doesn't do that in the theater, his classroom. I was the editor of the school paper, and on the way to that class the president of the college stopped me out in the hall to discuss something I'd been trying to get a meeting about. This caused me to be 5 minutes late to class. I was never usually late, but when the head of the school wants to chat, you do it. Prof flipped his Eisenhower hat-wearing lid when I walked in late. He screamed about how rude I was to interrupt his performance, and said he was going to fail me and leave. I argued back that that was not fair and he can't fail me for being late to class one time. Especially since there was no such policy stated in the syllabus, because this idiot didn't even make a syllabus. He said if I didn't leave right then he'd go to the dean of the department and get me kicked out of school. Fine. So I went to the dean. I explained the whole situation, his class structure, presenting opinion as fact, racist descriptions of the Japanese, everything. The dean was particularly shocked that we watched a movie every week. I was obviously not kicked out of school and allowed to return to the next session of class. At least I dodged the bullet of seeing his one-man show. Prof suddenly had other history professors in every class as observers. They tried some coaching, but by the end of the semester the guy was fired for utter incompetence. He claimed it was a free speech in the classroom issue, and somehow he even got interviewed for a segment on Fox News. He tried to take the school to court, where his ass got shut down, hard.